Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona sports. The local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Half of Major League Baseball gets 2 opening days, the real opener to start the season and then the home opener that follows. But if we're lucky in Arizona, the Diamondbacks will be the rare team to enjoy 3 of them, and that's because the D-backs beat the Dodgers on Thursday in their first National League West game of the season inside the toughest division in baseball. And everything you hate about the Dodgers was on display, including the tens of thousands of their fans in Chase Field wearing Dodger blue, but everything you hoped the Dodgers would bring out of the Diamondbacks was also on display. The team made stellar plays in the field. Gabby Marino hit his first home run, finally showing signs of life at the plate, and Ketel Marte hit his first home run and admired it for a long, long time, throwing baseball etiquette to the wind, and that's exactly what we need from Ketel Marte. Someone with swag and flash and attitude, and somebody who leans into all of it. He's the guy that gives the team the sizzle. So, for the first 37 games of the season, Diamondbacks weren't all that special. They weren't all that connected. They were occasionally sloppy and unfocused, and on some days, they didn't seem all that interested. Let's hope that all changed in Game 38, a game that carried the hope and reset of an opening day when the best team in baseball brought out the very best in the Diamondbacks. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
There was a couple of questions lobbed towards Torey Lovello last night, and one to Brandon Fott about, getting some juice against playing against the Dodgers.
Do you get just a little extra oomph, giddy up in your step when you face these guys?
Yeah, I think we did that with the Phillies last time. We were a little too giddy up, like you said, and I think we were able to calm things down and locate more today, and success was derived from it.
Yeah, and we only have one game of proof for this, but how long have we been, 37 games prior to last night, we've been talking about the inconsistent nature of Diamondbacks baseball. And maybe it took a visit from the National League or the World Series champions, a team that's atop your division right now, and a team that brings tens of thousands of fans with them. Maybe that's what it took to recalibrate the Diamondbacks and get them to play baseball. They looked like a much better team last night.
2 points about that, and you did the research. Playing your first division game in Game 38 of the season is absurd. It's the Diamondbacks have never experienced anything close to that, and you've heard them talk a couple of times about flying back east and then flying back east. Maybe the season didn't really ever feel real until last night because there have been no division games. Secondarily, I said at the start of the show, I had a few people send me videos last night from Chase Field, and they were just disgusted by the amount of Dodgers fans in the building. Yet, one of the things that I think that I've learned over the years is that pro athletes would much rather have a full house divided than a partisan but scant attendance.
I would agree
Meaning,
with that.
Put 40,000 people in here, 20,000 cheering for the other team, and I'm going to have a much better time than if we've got 13,000 here and they're all Diamondbacks fans.
It's energy.
It's energy.
Whether it's positive or negative, there's
energy.
buzz, there's energy, there's stuff to feed off.
Yep, that's it. And so I think that was also in the air last night because people who were at the game said great vibe in the stadium. It felt important. The game felt big. It felt electric.
It's what the Dodgers do. And look, we're not Dodgers fans here. They're pretty good for baseball right now because on a Thursday night, there was 40,000 fans in that ballpark. That doesn't happen a lot. That hasn't happened a lot in Chase Field history going back to after 1998 on a Thursday night. Those types of crowds do depend a lot on the matchup and the quality of the opponent. So that place is going to be electric all weekend.
Yeah, and it's a big weekend for the Diamondbacks, and if you could take 3 or 4 from the Dodgers, symbolically, I think that is exactly what this team needs to get elevation.
Yeah, we're starting
to get momentum.
Yeah.
Let's get something going this year.
And that was the first division game for the Diamondbacks, as we pointed out. There has been a handful of series between National League West teams, and we're starting to get into that part of the schedule, the meat of the schedule. Mike Hazen made reference to it. There's another National League West series going on this weekend. Unfortunately, it's the Padres are going to be able to bolster their record because they have the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah.
Did you see Kyle Freeland's comments?
No.
Don't stop believing in the Rockies, the message to the fans.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I appreciate that.
Are you serious?
That
reminds me of the NFL draft when they panned out to a scene inside Cleveland. They had Browns fans in the stadium for the draft, and they had a band on stage, and the band was playing Don't Stop Believing. And I'm like, oh, that's rich. In Cleveland, Ohio.
That's weird. A cover band would be playing that song.
How about it? Yeah. So weird.
The Colorado Rockies are 6-31.
Oh, and now that they're playing division games, it ain't going to get better.
The Chicago White Sox right now, they're still awful. They're 10-28.
Uh-huh.
That's a 3.5 game difference.
Almost twice as many wins as the Rockies. And they're horrible.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
But plus, the White Sox also have one Pope in the standings.
That's true.
Which is a perceptual victory.
1-0 in the Pope standings.
When are we going to get a Pope from Denver?
Right, exactly. Somebody pointed out that Chicago, the city of Chicago, received its first Pope before its first 4,000-yard passer.
Yes, lots of people pointed that out.
Oh, did they? Okay.
It was a very popular joke yesterday.
It was. But there was so many good Pope jokes.
Yes, I've got a lot of them later, hopefully, that you haven't heard before.
Hopefully. I mean,
well, what are you saying? You stole all of them?
No, I never steal it. But I'm saying you don't see everything that's been made.
Yeah, well, I
a lot of
certainly
parallel thinking.
Yeah.
But that's an hour and 20 minutes away. That's 80 more minutes for people to create Pope jokes.
Yes. Pope is just a fun word to say.
Gee, I wonder why you think that.
No, it has nothing to do with the poop.
It was a good start last night for Brandon Fott. National League leading 6th win of the season. Here's Torey Lovello on his right-hander's performance.
Brandon Fott just pounds his own, has a great game plan, goes 6+ scoreless innings. It was just a fantastic outing, and the day was started with him getting everything under control.
Yeah, so that's what they needed, especially coming after the night before.
It's funny, that is another stat that people just completely discount nowadays is wins from a pitcher. But there is something to it. A pitcher that stays in the games long enough to get a decision and that keeps your team in the game long enough for them to be leading when you leave.
It's been discounted by everybody but starting pitchers. It's still a very important...
And their agents.
And I remember, even going way back, having that discussion with Shelby Miller the first time he's with the Diamondbacks. How important is the victory statistic to a starting pitcher? And he said it's still very important. Nobody else cares about it. Doesn't matter. Wins don't matter.
Yeah, try telling that to the pitcher who's 6-14 and with a 2.8 ERA. You know, and there have been guys like that who've had seasons like that.
Yeah.
They would rather be 14-6 with a 4.3.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Murata. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.